The Bold and the Beautiful, a story of power, promises, and possibilities. The afternoon sun poured through the glass walls of the Forrester Creations executive office, casting long golden shadows across sketches, fabrics, and contracts spread across Steffi's desk. The building buzzed with anticipation. Today wasn't just another day in fashion, it was a day that could change everything. Steffi leaned over a mood board, her eyes sharp and focused. Across from her stood Electra, nervous but determined, clutching her tablet as if it were a shield. Dottie Bright doesn't impress easily, Steffi said, tapping a photo on the board. She's old school, but she's visionary. If she likes us, she opens doors we haven't even imagined. Electra nodded. And her assistant Joseph? I've heard he's the real decision-maker. Steffi smirked. That's why we charm both. The stakes felt heavy in the air. Electra had fought hard to prove herself. Joining the Forrester team had been her dream, but every step forward felt like 2 steps into uncertainty. Today, she told herself, would be different. The doors opened precisely at 2 o'clock. Dottie Bright entered first, a woman whose confidence filled the room before she even spoke. She wore elegance like armor, her eyes scanning every detail. Behind her was Joseph, young but intimidatingly calm, his tablet already open as if recording everything he saw. Steffi stepped forward with a confident smile. Dottie, Joseph, welcome to Forrester Creations. We're honored to have you. Dottie shook her hand firmly. I've heard a lot about your company. I'm curious to see if the rumors are true. Electra swallowed her nerves and stepped forward. And you must be Electra, Joseph said, offering a polite nod. I've reviewed your early designs. Her heart jumped. You have? I have questions, he replied simply. Steffi sensed the tension and guided everyone toward the display area. As fabrics were unveiled and sketches projected onto screens, Electra explained the inspiration behind the new collection. Bold lines, unexpected textures, and a mix of tradition with rebellion. Dottie watched silently. Joseph took notes. When Electra finished, there was a moment of stillness. Finally, Dottie spoke. You're bold. That's risky. Electra hesitated. Risk can be beautiful. Joseph looked up. Or catastrophic. Steffi quickly stepped in. That's why we balance vision with strategy. This line speaks to a younger audience while respecting classic craftsmanship. Dottie tilted her head. Impressive if it works. Electra's pulse raced. She couldn't tell if that was praise or warning. Across town, the atmosphere was very different. At a quiet cafe, Carter sat across from Daphne, whose calm presence always seemed to slow his racing thoughts. He folded his hands, choosing his words carefully. I've been thinking a lot about the future, he began. Daphne smiled softly. That sounds serious. It is. He leaned forward. I'm tired of reacting to life. I want to build something stable, something real. She watched him carefully, waiting. I want a future that isn't just business deals and missed chances. I want balance. Maybe even partnership. Daphne's smile faded slightly. Carter, she said gently, that's a lot to say at once. I know, he admitted, but I wanted you to hear it from me. I'm ready for something different. She stared at the window, thoughtful. Sometimes, she said quietly, the future you imagine and the future someone else wants aren't the same thing. Her words hit harder than he expected. Back at Forrester, the private preview had turned into a mini runway demonstration. Models walked confidently, showcasing Electra's designs while Steffi narrated the collection's vision. Dottie's expression remained unreadable. Joseph whispered something into her ear. Electra stood near the monitor, hands trembling slightly. She watched every reaction, searching for clues. When the final look appeared, a stunning blend of modern edges and classic elegance, silence fell. Then Dottie stood. I'll admit, she said slowly, this is not what I expected. Electra's stomach dropped. But, Dottie continued, unexpected can be powerful. Steffi smiled subtly, sensing a shift. Joseph stepped forward. The execution is strong, but sustainability concerns remain. Electra quickly replied, we're already sourcing eco-conscious materials for production. The first prototypes were conceptual. Joseph nodded approvingly. Dottie crossed her arms. You have passion. But passion alone doesn't sell. Steffi met her gaze. Results do. A small smile touched Dottie's lips. We'll continue this conversation, she said. Not a yes, but not a no. Carter watched Daphne stir her coffee, waiting for her answer. You're asking for something serious, she finally said. I'm asking for honesty, he replied. Daphne sighed. I care about you, she admitted. But you've changed your mind before. You've rushed into things. He nodded slowly. I know. That's why I'm trying to do this differently. She studied him, searching for sincerity. Maybe you are ready, she said quietly. But I'm not sure I am. His chest tightened. That's not a no, he said carefully. It's not a yes either. After Dottie and Joseph left, the tension in the design room exploded into nervous energy. Electra paced. Did we mess up? What does "we'll continue this conversation" even mean? Steffi laughed softly. It means we got further than most people ever do. But what if it's just polite rejection? Steffi shook her head. Trust me, Dottie doesn't waste time on things she's not interested in. Electra exhaled slowly. You are amazing out there, Steffi added. You didn't back down. Electra smiled faintly. I was terrified. That's how you know it mattered. Joseph's unexpected return. Just as the team began to relax, the elevator doors opened again. Joseph stepped out alone. Electra froze. I forgot something, he said calmly. Steffi raised an eyebrow. Oh. He turned to Electra. Your final design, the one with the layered detailing. I want to know how you came up with it. Electra blinked. Really? Yes, he said. Dottie's intrigued. She doesn't ask questions unless she sees potential. Electra felt hope ignite again. Well, she said carefully, it's about contrast. Strength and vulnerability existing at the same time. Joseph studied her closely. Interesting answer, he said. Keep thinking like that. Before leaving, he added quietly, you're closer to winning her over than you realize. Carter left the cafe alone. Daphne's words echoed in his mind. Not ready. The city lights flickered around him as he walked, questioning whether he had once again moved too fast. He checked his phone, no message. He sighed. For the first time in a long time, he realized the future couldn't be planned like a contract. It required patience, something he was still learning. Electra stood alone in the design studio after everyone left. She touched the fabrics gently, replaying every moment of the day. Had she impressed Dottie? Or just survived? Steffi appeared in the doorway. You should go home, she said softly. Electra laughed. I'm too wired. Steffi walked closer. You did good today. Don't let doubt steal that from you. Electra smiled. I just want this so badly, she admitted. Steffi nodded knowingly. That's why you'll succeed. As Carter stepped into his apartment, his phone buzzed. A message from Daphne. I'm not saying no. I just need time. He stared at the screen, relief mixing with uncertainty. Maybe the future wasn't clear yet, but it wasn't closed either. The next morning, a call came into Steffi's office. She listened carefully, her expression shifting from curiosity to shock. When she hung up, Electra rushed in. What happened? Steffi turned slowly. That was Dottie Bright. Electra held her breath. She wants a private dinner tonight. Just you and Joseph. Electra's eyes widened. Me? Alone. Steffi nodded. She says she wants to see who you really are. Electra's heart pounded. Because, in the world of fashion, and in life, private invitations could change everything. Or destroy it.